asks the Lord to take it away. The Lord's answer, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. To which Paul says, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, I am strong. You've been listening to This Day in History. I'm John here.
Thank you for listening to African Pathways Radio, 11825 megahertz on the 25-meter band at 4 a.m. UTC and at 17640 megahertz on the 16-meter band at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. UTC.
Listening to African Pathways Radio. I am Edith Udofia, and here is my friend and co-host, Henry Hoffman.
Thank you, Edith. The second half of our program starts with creation moments. Ian Taylor explains the science behind the body parts we need and our DNA. Then the song Shine on Us is introduced and performed.
After that, Henry interviews Stan Granberg, former missionary to Kenya, and I tell the story of another African hero of faith.
Our closing song is African Dream by the Soweto Gospel Choir. Now, here's Ian Taylor and Creation Moments.
Are there parts of your body that you don't need? Find out next on today's Creation Moments. And now, here's our Creation Moments host, Ian Taylor.
Years ago, evolutionary scientists labeled 180 human organs, such as the appendix, as vestiges left over from evolution. The fact is, they did not know the function these organs actually served. Well, since that time, it has been known that every one of these organs have useful functions and have nothing to do with evolution. Now, a similar situation is shaping up with DNA. As scientists learned what the different segments of DNA do, they also found segments that appear to have no function. These segments have often been referred to as junk DNA. Predictably, evolutionists have suggested that these apparently useless segments of DNA are left over from our evolutionary history. Now, researchers at Jackson Laboratory in Bar Harbor, Maine, have discovered that they may have a function after all. They were studying early mammalian development in fertilized mouse eggs and early embryos. And as they traced the genes at work in these early stages of development, they discovered that about 10% of the so-called junk DNA was actively making protein. Further researchers claim, like the so-called vestigial organs, at least some so-called DNA has a purpose, and it has nothing to do with evolution. Once again, as ignorance is replaced with knowledge, we gain a greater appreciation of what our Creator has made.
For a printed transcript of today's program, visit our website at creationmoments.com or call us toll-free at 1-800-43-BIBLE. And be sure to join us next time for another Creation Moment, proclaiming evidence of God's truth.
Once in a while, not very often, but occasionally, we meet somebody and strike up such a great friendship that it's as if we've known them forever. Whether it's common interests, a hobby we both share, the way we look at the world, there's something that makes us forget that there was ever a time we didn't know them. That's the way it is with some songs. They go so deep into our consciousness that it's as if they've been our friends forever. Speaking just for me, and maybe for you too, Michael W. Smith's Shine on Us is one of those songs. Lord, let your light of your face, shine on us, that we may be saved, that we may have light. And then later in the song, Lord, let your grace from your hand fall on us. And finally, Lord, let your love with no end, come over us. An alumni group from Pepperdine University, True Lift, sings the song written by Michael W. Smith and Deborah D. Smith, Shine on Us.